and greetings. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of In Right Standing, a podcast for the unique, peculiar, and chosen who want to live right and at the end of the day be in right standing with themselves and with others. I'm your host, Jada Cofield, and on today's episode, I want to continue our conversation about the types of women, with the focus today being on the becoming woman and the beautiful woman. There is a quote that says, "Trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, enjoy the beauty of becoming." To be becoming means any process of change that suits or gives a pleasing effect or attractive appearance. It is a woman who has chosen well. She is evolving and learning from her evolution or mistakes. Years ago, you would hear people say, "She is very becoming," or "that color or dress is very becoming of her." We don't necessarily speak like this anymore. However, it still stands true today as a high compliment for a woman. Becoming means impressive, a strictly beautiful and graceful woman. They are women who are already diamonds, but need a little bit of polishing off. They are valuable and gifted women. Becoming women are forced by life to evolve because if they do not, they will be left behind. Therefore, they can recognize change quickly and have come to embrace it wholeheartedly as they figure things out as they go along. They make multiple choices and multiple mistakes. For becoming women, failure is feedback, fundamental, forwarding, and forewarning. Women who embrace mistakes seem to have a better outlook on life and can often help others see the beauty in the ashes as well. We learn big lessons from becoming women's mistakes. Embracing mistakes helps you and I become without pressure to perform or feel ashamed or guilty when we have not gotten things right. She digresses less and less as a perfectionist and allows herself to become a blessed mess through her metamorphosis and maturation process. In other words, grace and mercy keep her and guide her through her change. Through her maturation and metamorphosis, she's learned to yield to process and time as she finally comes to a place of understanding the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but unto them that endure to the end. Becoming women know how to fight for themselves and stand until they see themselves come forth. She takes responsibility for her transformation, sometimes due to the fact she has exhausted all other avenues. Her focus is becoming beautiful and not the beast. Within the cocoon of a caterpillar and its process of becoming a butterfly, the body digests itself from inside out. She takes her own issues, situation, concepts, and understanding to free herself. She is not a victim. Next, what happens inside the cocoon, the fluid breaks down the old caterpillar body into cells called imaginal cells, where the old body dissolves. Get it? Her past is now just a figment of her imagination or a blip on the screen. It does not exist as much as it may have before. Her mind and body have been transformed. That, my friends, is what you call a miracle. She thinks about her former lack and inability in a whole other way, and now she can fly with it. She is pressing and building muscle while coming forth under intense change. Change that takes place in darkness most of the time. So she pushes while waiting for her time, all the while strengthening and thinking of getting out of her current circumstance. I had a mentor who taught me how to be a butterfly. Her name was Sherry Austin, and she was the type of woman who, when she walked in a room, everyone in the room some way wanted to be like her. She was smart, beautiful, and loved God. I learned how to fly in and fly out from her. In other words, she taught me like a butterfly, you should bring light, life, and liberty and then leave. She also taught me from her mistakes. She would share deep, hard mistakes she made in life and advise me not to do the same. During the metamorphosis, the butterfly is focused on one thing, freedom. Becoming women learn the importance of staying focused and being single-eyed. In Songs of Solomon, she is referred to as the dove. And from the standpoint of function, the eyes of a dove can only see one thing at one time. And when in the process of launching this podcast, I removed YouTube from my devices for 4 months and other podcasts and all other platforms, and I'm not on any, just so I could be focused on what I felt or part was to play in the digital world. I did not look at what everyone else was doing. I highlighted a few programs I liked, but afterwards the decision was made to focus on myself, the team, and what God placed in my heart. Having a single eye is more illuminating than having multiple focus. If you are being processed, you cannot see much anyway. According to the BBC Ideas channel, multitasking causes you to miss things, perform tasks less well, and flat out dangerous. Your brain is not wired to do so. People are always saying, well, in business, do you know what your competitors are doing? And my answer to that is yes, but mostly no, I don't. The Range Rover brand is the most driven SUV brand globally. When the Lincoln Navigator and Cadillac Escalade launched to compete with the Range Rover, they were asked by car experts, what is your difference? How are you now going to compete with the Lincoln and the Cadillac? Range Rover said, we have no interest in competing. We're who we are. We are in a class of our own. There's no comparison. We know who we are. That, my friends, is being single-minded. Not concerned about the next person, what they are doing or how they're doing it, or even when. Being a busybody. Focus on your own output and contribution to society and make that output of the highest quality and needed value. And trust me, I wasn't always focused. I learned, especially in my 20s, how all over the place I was. I jumped in my car and went here, there, and everywhere like a Dr. Seuss book. I was the original draft of the Fast and the Furious movies, and I had no patience whatsoever. Not realizing I was stifling my own growth as becoming a better young lady until I began praying more sincerely and having self-reflection time by sitting still and processing my mind, thoughts, emotions, and faith. I realized all that I was looking at or to was not necessary, that having one agenda, one goal worked best for me. Even today, I will tell you, no, I do not multitask, and I do not know how. It's not healthy teaching, nor should it be encouraged. And I am multi-talented. However, I complete one task at a time. We ourselves are one person. Even when you are married, it says the two are one. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body also is full of light. But when thine eye is evil, thy body also is full of darkness. I do not walk and talk on my phone while in the store. When I speak to people on the phone at home, I sit down. I'm not doing other things all over the house. I do not take my phone out while dining or in a meeting. I am not scrolling when I am talking to you. And if I do, I apologize and I stop. We want attention. We want people to listen to us. We want people to hear us. But we don't do the same. Your mind, your heart, your emotions, your time, your energy are always all over the place or somewhere else. You are having a focused and spiritual affair. Yet we go to God about help me, show me, be with me, but we are not with Him. Most of you are terrified of being single. If your head is not constantly going and you're not constantly busy, you are not happy. You make up stuff to do. This is not talking about an idle mind either. Those are two different things. Being busy and being productive are two different things, lady. And for some reason, certain cultures as women, we are told we are supposed to be busy, be tired, burn both ends of the candle. No, thank you. That is not the life I want to live. The Bible clearly says, rest in me. Come unto me and I will give you rest. Come all those who are heavy laden. But we have adopted the world standard of what they deem busy as, which means being spread out all over the place. So instead of becoming beautiful, we become busted. A tired woman is not attractive. Stop the multitasking. What is most important in life? Resting the body resets the body, repositions your mind, and rejuvenates your soul. I learned in my mastermind class with like-minded business professionals, rest brings about reflection, revelation, and restoration. Most of you cannot find a way out of the old because you simply refuse to rest to get the answer, to reset. You brag about working late, while Sally, on the other hand, went to bed at 9 and her work is making money while she sleeps. One of the most beautiful women in my life was my best friend's mother when I was growing up, and her name was Oslin. I was so enamored by her. She was organized, always well-dressed, exceedingly kind to me, healthy, a great cook, and she loved the Lord. She was well beloved on her job and very well traveled. But the one thing that stood out the most was how she rested. Yes, when I would spend the night as a child, she was in the bed by 9 p.m., no exceptions. And she was so fit, healthy, and full of energy. I adopted that principle. Depending on what season I am in, I go to bed at 9. I'm going to get my rest. Trust me. The issues, the blessing, or challenge will be there in the morning. I cannot function on low fuel and exhaustion. It is not attractive to me. Some of us are afraid to even take a nap. Why? Who taught you that? We saw our mothers work like a dog, work until she was diagnosed with diabetes, fibroids, cancer, because amid building the business, church, and the family, she demolished or did not build her temple. How many of you have put on weight studying for your master's after you got married? We take on a new project, but we have old bad habits. The space I am in now with self-discipline is because I learned from my mistakes back then. Who taught you to run yourself into the ground? Exhaustion is not funny, nor admirable leadership. Who wants to build something and then turn around and you can't even enjoy it? I am here to tell you from sister to sister, there is nothing beautiful or becoming about that. You do not have to do it. Find a better way, beautiful lady. So if I hear you teach this, I will not be under your leadership. I can smell exhaustion and poor self-discipline a mile away. While some of you will never stop because your work, ministry, schooling, and business help you hide from life. It keeps you occupied so you don't have to deal with yourself. It makes you feel good about the bad you don't want to correct. Stop teaching other women how to kill themselves for success. When I started this project in February, I said, okay, I'm going to be putting in hours and I love what I do and time will get ahead of me. And the next thing I know, I haven't eaten, or if I do, it's one big meal. And when I do that, it sends my body into hibernation, and what my body then says to itself, oh, you've changed your eating habits. And since I don't know when you're going to feed me again, Jada, I'll just store a little extra fat for myself. So since this has happened to me before while working on something I love, Jada has a plan, and I have to plan out my meals just like I plan out my meetings. I am not in a place in this space to just come up with an idea of a balanced, healthy meal. My mind is occupied with the project, but I still need to make sure I have the proper brain and body fuel. I was attending a meeting with a panel of women. One was a Home Depot executive and the other a MailChimp executive, and both mentioned how they use meal plan services because they realized they needed to eat well. And by the time they picked up the kids, got home, and did homework, it was easier to do fast food, which was killing all of them, than to sit down to a decent meal. So I order a meal kit service to help me during active times. What am I saying? Is you must plan for you within the plan as well. We plan the business, the job, the success, but what is the plan for the one who is going to make it all happen? Now, for those of you in countries where there are no meal delivery services, this would be a great climate to either start one or secondly, plan your meals. There are tons of YouTube and Pinterest weekly meal plans that can be prepped and frozen for the week. When I lived in other countries, I planned and prepped. And there are those of you I know who have help. Your ladies can help you prep just like mine did. Get your house in order, beautiful, becoming lady. And that includes you. Let the children help. They can cut up or pack some things as well. They want to eat, they need to participate. Lastly, there are those who need food, and this would be a great time to start a food pantry, an outreach, or for every plate you sell, a dinner is donated to a family in need. Ladies, you are the most precious commodity in this whole equation. I exercise on these days. Vitamins are these days. Sleep is this time. Meals are this time. So it becomes a well-oiled, anointed machine. It is not a controlled environment because I can do what I want. It's organized with boundaries. When Nehemiah built the wall, that was for organization and boundaries. This is not about a vision board. This is now about what is the plan written to help me run with the vision. So I will faint not, which is exhaustion. I was not going to birth this vision and lose my life during the process. When you look at pregnancy now, stress is the number one scientific factor in paternal and maternal death amongst women of color. We are tired, worried, stressed out, unhappy, and unhealthy, all while caring for another human being. Get focused on what you are becoming and begin being led by still waters and green pastures, which means peace, pace, and being planted. You have planted a seed of discord and distraction, yet you demand people give you full attention, but you are not attentive to your own garden. It does not work that way. You reap exactly what you sow. Becoming women learn to master focus. You get a whole better picture when something is in focus. Becoming women realize they are not alone in this metamorphosis. They were not the only ones who were caterpillars. They were not the only ones mistreated, lied to, hurt, or broken. Becoming women are full of life and are fascinated with growing and learning. Exploration is key to her growth. Becoming women study change in themselves and others. They are the flexible type. They change and change quickly. There is nothing boring or basic about this lady. She's playful, vivacious, and vital to those around her and her community. And in her process of becoming, she ends up becoming the beautiful woman, which beautiful means having beauty, possessing qualities that give great pleasure or satisfaction to see, hear, and think about, to delight the senses or mind, an excellent kind of wonderful woman. My precious prayer mother, Sister Jean, would say to me, there is beauty in holiness, and there is a blessing in waiting. Holy simply means to be sacred, dedicated, or devoted to the service of God. And that, my beloved ladies, is beautiful and very becoming. There is not much to say about the beautiful woman. She just speaks for herself. Her light shines even in very dark places. She is beautiful inside, and the light you see is the illumination from within that just makes her outside look amazing. Leave in the comments a woman who is beautiful to you, and I want to hear what you see as beauty. A beautiful woman is just a delight. They are the women you see and honestly want to be like. She talks beautiful. She looks beautiful. The way she handles people is beautiful. Yes, she is captivating. Her influence and affluence is not misconstrued for pride, vanity, or entitlement. Her heart has been truly captivated by God. The fear of the Lord is what makes her attractive. I am His and He is mine, beloved. A beautiful woman has the audience of one, Christ. That is who she is become beautiful for and by. Christ her Father, the Holy Spirit is her director, and God is her producer. Beautiful women belong to no one. She is a gift to the world. She cannot be bought nor stopped. The only person who can stop a becoming woman is herself, and she knows it. You might slow her down or make her rethink things or return to the maturation process. But when her metamorphosis is done in God, she then has become processed, purified, and preserved for great use. When she enters a room, she shuts it down, not because she's boastful. She truly has a host of heaven with her and upon her shoulders. This chick is bad, bold, anointed, and destined. She brings life. She's not selfish. What she has, she gives to you. Her well does not run dry, so there is no need for this type of woman to hold her cards and not tell or help others. Being private is one thing and good, but being stingy, secretive, and competitive is another. Know the difference. I want to encourage you that we all should want to become beautiful women. What that means to you is different from what it means to me, and that's what makes it even better for the both of us. Maybe you would like to share in the comments someone who is beautiful to you, and why not hashtag you are beautiful because. I am beautiful because I'm unique. But when I was growing up, people being mean would say I was weird or unique, peculiar. I need you to better understand yourself and not who you are through what someone else has told you. I cannot help you be beautiful. I can help illuminate the journey to help you get to your place of becoming beautiful. Beautiful people bestow their beauty upon others. Better than Cinderella's godmother, whose beauty she imparted disappeared at midnight. Ours does not. I want to hear from you, and be sure to send me an email at hello@inrightstanding.com or leave us a beautiful comment for all who watch and listen to read. Thank you for tuning in today, and remember, at the end of the day, I want you to be in right standing with yourself, with others, and most importantly with Christ. Until next time, the Lord be with you. Bye.